Mr. President of the Constitutional Council, Presidents, ladies and gentlemen, the French have chosen on the 7th of May last the hope and the spirit of conquest. The whole world followed our presidential elections. Everywhere people were wondering if the French were going to decide to look inwards, to look backwards, to look to the illusions of the past, if they were going to break with the present world and to give in to defiance and to division and to turn their back on the light, or on the contrary, if they were going to look to the future and collectively take a fresh start, reassert their faith in the values that have made their people a great people. On the 7th of May, the French made a choice, and I would like to thank them for that choice today. The responsibility they have entrusted me with is an honor of which I measure the gravity. The world and Europe need France more than ever. They need a strong France, a France that is sure of its destiny. They need a France that holds high the voice of freedom and solidarity. They need a France that knows how to invent the future. The world needs what the French have always taught the world, or the audacity of freedom, the demand for equality, and the will to be fraternal. For decades, France has doubted herself and feels threatened in terms of culture, in terms of social model, and in its beliefs. And it is struggling with doubt. My mandate will be guided by two demands, two requirements. First of all, to give back to the French this confidence in themselves, which has been weakened for far too long. I would like to reassure you, I haven't thought a single second that it would happen overnight, magically, on the 7th of May. It will take time, it will be a demanding job, but an absolutely indispensable task. It will be my duty to convince the French that our country, which today seems to be suffering from the headwinds of the world, actually has the potential resources for playing a leading role on the world stage. I will convince the French that France's power is not declining, that we are on the eve of a renaissance, of a rebirth, because we have in our hands all the assets, all the strengths that make a great power of the 21st century. For this purpose, I will not give in to any of the commitments that have been made to the French. Everything that contributes to the reinvigoration of France and her prosperity. Work will be freed up, companies will be supported, initiatives will be encouraged. Culture and education, which are the building blocks of the future, creation, innovation will be at the heart of my action. The French, who feel that they have been forgotten in the world of today, will feel more protected. Everything that forges our national solidarity will be refounded, reinvented, strengthened. Equality in the face of the difficulties of life will be strengthened. Everything that makes France a country that is sure of herself, where you can live without being afraid, will be amplified. Secularism, Republican secularism will be defended. Our law enforcement organizations, intelligence services and armies will be strengthened. The Europe we need will be refounded and relaunched because it protects us and allows us to assert our values across the world. Our institutions, which have been criticized by some, must, in the eyes of the French, be seen to be effective and sustainable. I believe in the institutions of the Fifth Republic and will do everything I can to enable them to function in compliance with the spirit that gave birth to them. I want our country to see its democracy revived and its citizens listened to more than ever before. In this fight, I will need the support of each of you, the responsibility of all the elites, political, economic, social, religious, of all the institutions of French society will be called upon to contribute to this. We can no longer take refuge in the past and traditions of the past. We must rediscover the deep meaning and dignity of what today brings us together. Acting in a just, effective and fair way on behalf of our people. France is strong only when it is prosperous. France is a model for the world only when it is exemplary. And this is my second requirement. As we would have given back to the French a taste for the future and the pride of what they are, the whole of the world will be listening to what France has to say. Because if we manage to overcome our fears and our anguishes, we will together set the example of a people that knows how to assert its values and its principles, which are those of democracy and of the Republic. The efforts made by my predecessors before me have been remarkable, and I would like to pay tribute to them. I'm thinking of General de Gaulle, who worked to revive France, to return France to its leading role on the world stage. Georges Pompidou made our country a major industrial power. Valéry Giscard d'Estaing enabled French society to enter the modern world. And François Mitterrand, who supported the reconciliation of the French dream with the European dream, and Jacques Chirac, who gave France the status of a country that knew how to say no to war. Nicolas Sarkozy expended a lot of energy to overcome the worst financial crisis that struck the world for a very long time. And I'm thinking, of course, of François Hollande, who was a precursor with the Paris Agreement on climate change, protecting the French in a world facing serious terrorism. Their work, especially in the recent decades, has all too often been prevented from coming to fruition by discouragement, by the discouragement of many French citizens who feel unjustly forgotten or losing their interests. I would like to tell the world that France's voice has often been lost in the defiance that existed today. The time has come for France to rise to the occasion. The divisions within our society must be overcome, be they economic, be they social, political, or moral. Because the world expects of us that we should be strong, solid, and that we should see far ahead. France's mission in the world is an eminent mission. We will take all our responsibilities to bring, whenever necessary, a relevant answer to the major crises of the time, be it the migration crisis, the climate change challenge, authoritarianism, the excesses of global capitalism, and, of course, the threats of terrorism. Nothing will be detrimental only to the ones and not to the others. We are all together, we are all neighbors. France will ensure that it is on the side of freedom, human rights, but always to build peace for a sustainable period. We have an immense role to play, correcting the excesses of world events and to defend liberty. That is our calling. For this purpose, we will need a more effective, more democratic, and more political Europe, because that is one of the instruments of our power and sovereignty. I will work in that direction. Geography has reduced the size of the world. Time has accelerated. The period we are experiencing will decide on the destiny of France for many years. We're not fighting only for our generation, but for the generations to come. It is up to us, all of us, here and now, to decide on the world in which the future generations will live. And that is perhaps our greatest responsibility. We have to build the world that our youth deserve. I know that the French at this time are expecting a lot of me. They are right, because the mandate they have entrusted me gives them every right to be very demanding, and I'm fully conscious of this. Nothing will be done in an easy way. Nothing will reduce my determination. Nothing will bring me to renounce defending anywhere and any place France's superior interests. I will, at the same time, have the constant will to reconcile and bring together all French citizens. The confidence that the French have shown in me has given me great energy and the deep certainty that together we can write one of the best chapters in our history. At this time, when anything can happen, the French people has always found within itself the energy, the discernment, the spirit of concord to build the deep change that we need. And that's the situation we are in today. It is for this purpose that humbly I will serve our people. And I know that I will be able to count on all my compatriots to undertake this exalting and very demanding task. As far as I'm concerned, from this very evening, I will be at work. Long live the Republic, long live France.